Well, good morning, everybody. It's good again to be here. I hope that this message really touches someone. I normally don't do this, but I started writing down a few things inside my house, and the the title, if I had a title of the message, is the side effects of salvation. You know, salvation should give the Christian side effects, positive side effects. Um, Matter of fact, I even looked up the word effects and the word effects. The one that I chose to write down was the effects, AFFECTS. And I looked it up, and that word actually stands for action. I guess it's putting it in a name that the effects is one word, and then the effects, which is spelled with the E, is the end result. Well, the end result should please the Lord, but the title that I used is the side effects of salvation. You know, salvation is a lot like sunburn. I recently put up a pool for my little grandson, and I got out there in that pool and I enjoyed the water, but I didn't realize that the sun was affecting me the way that it was. And I didn't know it. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel it coming on. I felt my back was a little warm, but it wasn't because I was in direct sunshine, but I didn't really know that I was in the process of being burned. I saw the redness afterwards, and I could tell looking at my legs and my thighs, where I could see where the line was, where my shorts was, and where the sun didn't penetrate that area, but it penetrated everything where the skin was. And I see the redness. And then it wasn't very long, I started noticing some bubbling. And when I started noticing the bubbling, when I started rubbing it, I started feeling like the skin was coming loose. I don't know if it would even be able to be seen, but I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if it'll show up or not. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera or not, but I've got a lot of peeling going on. And I have yanked skin and yanked skin off. And it's not a feeling that makes you feel very good. If anything, it's somewhat sort of irritating, because of the fact that the skin has bubbled off, and when you rub the skin, you rub the skin off. Well, salvation should have godly effects. It should have godly actions. That's what the word effects means. There was some things that I don't know where in the Bible I will read today. I really don't know, because some of the things that I wrote down, I just felt like I just wanted to write down a couple of things. I normally don't do that, but today I felt at liberty to be able to make this message. You know, when you have the effects of salvation, I think the first thing that a person is going to have if they have truly been born again of the Spirit, they're going to have meditation. If a person never meditates on God and they never meditate about God, that's very, very dangerous when our meditation is not on God. A person that has the effects of salvation is going to have meditation. If your meditation is on everything in the world but on the things of God, then you got your wrong meditation. Meditation is one of the things that I find myself doing all the time. I mean, I even asked the Lord this morning, Lord, what message can I bring to the people? That was before this idea of the sunburn deal ever came up. I mean, I feel both of my shoulders with the skin coming off. And it don't feel the best in the world. I think also that a person that has the effects of salvation is going to desire knowledge. They're going to desire knowledge, more knowledge than what they had before. I don't think it stops here. I think that we're going to have a spiritual motive. So many times we want to get in a motive that is selfishness, is our motive, not the motive of the Lord. If a person knew that their meditation was weak and their knowledge was weak, then it would automatically affect the motive of the person. In my opinion, it would affect the motive, the outright calling of the person. I believe that a person that has the effects of salvation is going to have the evidence of genuine fruit. Now, the verse that comes to my mind, and I've used it many times, is Galatians 5:22 and 23. The Bible says, "For the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." The fruit of the Spirit, shouldn't the fruit of the Spirit have genuine fruit? Should the fruit be real? You know, they make these little platters that go on a kitchen table that looks like a fruit basket. And they're beautiful. They got bananas and oranges and apples and grapes and all different kinds of things that you can eat from. But guess what? It's fake. It's not real. It's plastic. You pick up an apple that is fake. If you look hard enough, you'll see dust on it because it's fake. How many people do you think has the genuine fruit, the real fruit. I think what goes along with real fruit is a real testimony. If a person has the effects of salvation, the kind that, like I wrote down here, the kind that is a action, I believe it's going to produce a pleasing testimony. Anybody that has a job wants to please their boss man, because their boss man holds their job in his hand. The boss man can say you're fired, and you'd have to get your stuff and go. Oh, you might have a grievance board or something like that, but generally, if the boss says you're fired, you're gone. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. But having a pleasing testimony is a desire of the effects of salvation. Just like the sunburn that came on my arms, and I'm peeling the skin off as a result of the sunburn. That's evidence. Not only do you have a pleasing testimony, you have a desire of spiritual growth. If a person doesn't grow, the likelihood is they have never had any effect of salvation. And you have to question whether salvation was really real or not. If a person has a problem with genuine fruit, if they have a problem with their testimony, then it very well could be that they could have a problem with their spiritual growth as well. And that also hinges on the fact that more than likely there's a lack of concern for the lost. If our mind, if our motive is not on the Lord, if our testimony is not about the Lord, if our genuine fruit is a fake basket on the table, there's no sustenance there to eat on, then there's nothing there to get nutrition from. Too many people, I think, have the basket of fake apples and oranges and grapes, and they don't realize that their fruit is fake. I'm talking about a genuine effect of salvation. And when you have a lack of concern for the lost, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Let me ask you a question. Do you have spiritual sunburn? Do you have an effect of salvation on your life? When a person gets born again, there's a change that comes in to the individual. I'm talking about a real change. I'm not just talking about a wordy change. What I'm talking about is speaking words. It's not just mere words, it's action that goes along with it. The effects of salvation. Do you have spiritual sunburn? See, the sunburn left the evidence of the bubbling skin and the redness and the irritation on my shoulders right here. And you know what? I'm going to continue to pick. I'm going to continue to pick at these places that are peeling. I don't know if the camera is showing up enough, But believe you me, I know that it's there. There is peeling going on everywhere. I'm going to continue to try to grab as much as I can to yank it off of there. Because that skin is already dead. That skin is flaking off. It's peeling off. Is there any kind of evidence of salvation? I'm talking about true salvation. Do you have spiritual sunburn? That might be a good question, and I think that we all might need to ask. Here's what that means. Do you have the side effects of salvation? A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have the side effects of salvation because they're content with the fake fruit. They're more concerned with the looks of the fruit rather than the quality of the fruit. You know, you can go buy watermelon, and sometimes watermelons look real good, but you don't really know how sweet they are until you get into it. Some watermelons don't impress me. Some watermelons impresses me. Why? Because of their sweetness and their enjoyment when you eat the watermelon, when the watermelon is sweet. There's no way to really know when a watermelon is really sweet or not. I don't know that you can look at one. You can look at the stripes of one. You can look at how long it's been sitting on the ground, the faded area. Some people says that you can thump them and feel the thump. I don't understand that. I don't know what it means to get a sweet watermelon. I'm good at buying one, but all I can do is hope that the fruit is good. And what I will do, if it's not all that good, I will go ahead and eat it. Especially if it's cold, if it's cut up, if it's put in a container. Even if it ain't all that sweet, I will still go ahead and eat it for the nutrition part of it. So, do you have the side effects of salvation? You know, I didn't know I was being burnt in my little knucklehead's pool. I didn't have no idea. My wife was smearing that stuff all over him. But I didn't know that I was sitting there burning because my skin didn't feel that. That stuff that my wife was putting on him didn't wash off in the water. It stayed on him. Now I understand what it means to put sunscreen on when you're outside and when you're in the pool. You put sunscreen on. She didn't give me none. I guess she thought that I had enough sense to realize that I would be peeling. And I am now. And it's been a week since he's been gone. And I'm peeling all over. Let me ask you this closing question. Do you care enough to want to know if you have an effect of salvation? You know, sadly, there's a lot of people that don't care. They just hope that they're living a good life. They're living a quality life. But they don't really know the kind of fruit they are. They don't know the effect of genuine salvation. They just hoping that it's like God has a set of scales. And people are hoping that the scales that goes to heaven has a tendency to come up and the other scale to go down. And they just hope that they're living in a life that This scale over here is just a little bit higher than the scale of the world. But you know what really impresses God? What really impresses God is when you know that the hand that you're in right here is real salvation. And when you know that it's real salvation, you know the position of where you should be in the Lord, and you should know where your position is of the cares of this life. And when you exalt the Lord, you're not exalting your life, you're exalting His life. But yet there's a lot of people that don't know that. So today, ask yourself, do you have the effects of salvation? Do you have the side effects? My medicine has side effects. I take some at night. I take one in the morning when I think about it. Medicine has side effects. Salvation has side effects too. Genuine salvation has side effects. I hope that you have the side effects of genuine salvation. Elderly Ministry is the YouTube channel. You can get a hold of me there. You got the phone contact and everything that is on YouTube. I'd like for you to subscribe if you feel like that you're getting something from this. I'm also on Facebook. Facebook is normally uploaded to Facebook. And you can also reach me on the website. elderlyministry.com is the website. You can reach me there. I love to challenge you to make sure that you have the side effects of salvation. Don't be the fake fruit that's on the kitchen table. The fruit that you can't eat. The fruit that gets dust on it. The fruit that is plastic. The fruit that is not real. Thank y'all for tuning in.